I just want to give you a sense of how much wind we're dealing with here. You can see those flags in the background. They're whipping in the wind ferociously. They've been doing that nonstop, just bobbing back and forth. And this roadway has been treated over and over and over again. And as you can see, there's some plow trucks going by right now. And even still, there is still some accumulation. If you come back to where I'm standing, our photographer, Eric Nielsen, actually was kind enough to treat this sidewalk. But if I walk over to the area that has not been touched, you can see it's literally a mountain of snow. It's up to my kneecaps. So it's a lot of accumulation. Everything has snow on it. That trash can was a regular trash can when we came here last night. But if you look closely in the opening, it's stuffed with snow. The snow is not the only problem. It's actually really cold. And this is our beautiful WJZ van. If you can tell, it's a van at this point, and it's covered in ice. And the snow, it's hardened onto the van, and it's sticking onto it. So you have to kind of scrape it off if you can. And there are icicles all over the rim and the tires, and these icicles, some are really long and jagged, so you have to deal with this if you're out playing in the snow, sledding in the snow. It can be a hazard, so we're keeping an eye out on conditions here, but doesn't seem to be getting any better here on Falls Road. Back to you.
And I saw a moment ago a sledder. Somebody had a big yellow sled right near you. Right down the road from you, Amy, in the years past, there's a big hill there on the country club that people love to sled down, but I can't imagine in this kind of weather that anybody is going down that hill. Well, there's somebody.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of this time. I mean, it's here, it's not going anywhere, and you just make the best of what you can with the snow.
Yeah, yeah. All right, thank you.
And these are actually not the only people we've seen out here. Earlier, we spoke to two guys that were on snowboards. Now, it appears a father and son are, I guess, sledding in the area, taking advantage of this massive snow day. But that's why it's important to tell people, you know, dress warmly, bundle up. If you're going to be out here, be careful because it's hard to walk. You see the little boy just fell. Even though he's wearing protective gear, goggles, he's having trouble trekking in the snow because it's a lot. Even for an adult to walk in, it's a lot. As you saw me, it covered the lower half of my body. Sir, if you could just come over. You're sledding.
Yes, we are. We're taking a hike for some hot chocolate and some sledding.
Hot chocolate and sledding. Sounds like Christmas, but it is not.
It's Christmas for us.
So what do you think of the snow?
We love it. We were supposed to go skiing, but couldn't make it to the ski resort last night, so this is our ski trip.
So where are you doing this?
Well, we live up in off of Hawthorne, so we're just walking around, sledding, and getting some hot chocolate.
What about you, buddy? What about you, buddy? What do you think about the snow?
I love it.
Okay, he loves the snow, but a lot of people don't agree with him. Back to you. You too, thank you.
It's nice to see that somewhere.
What are the conditions for people walking out there?
Well, let me tell you, don't do it. We were debating whether we should drive or walk, and then we decided to walk, and I regretted it from the minute my boots touched the ground. You're okay in the first couple of strides, but after a while, when you're walking, you start to feel a numbness come over your toes, and it feels, as you dig in deeper, wet, and it's a cold, wet, messy, uncomfortable feeling. And as it gets colder, I can imagine that is going to turn into ice, and with the evening, you won't be able to see that ice. So I don't advise you to walk in this, drive in this, stand in this, do anything in this if you can.
If it's not your job, and we appreciate you doing your job, Amy. Well, I was where you are about 2 hours ago, and there was a fire truck stuck. Did you notice it? Has it been able to get unstuck?
I saw the fire truck, but right before the fire truck, there was actually a city plow truck. There's one, if we move the camera over there, I think that may be a private contractor, but we're seeing a lot of movement in terms of cleaning up the street. And because of that, that fire truck was able to move in with ease. And that's one of the reasons you hear every city official and state official telling people to stay off the roads so that fire trucks and ambulances and emergency responders can do their job in this storm.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Amy. We appreciate it.
Good morning, Tracy. Good morning to everyone at home. The snowstorm may be over, but this morning we're waking up with a new set of problems. It is cold and it is windy. It is literally freezing out here. Let me show you just what I mean. Yesterday, I could just pick up the snow right from the ground. This morning, rock solid ice. Let me show you why. The temperature 19 degrees, well below freezing, and it is 17 miles per hour wind gusts this morning, so bundle up before you head out. The dig out is almost over after Mother Nature dumped sleet and snow over the region.
It is a very heavy type of snow, particularly after the snow plow has come through a couple times and just kind of pushed it up against the cars.
In Baltimore County, just hours after the storm plows made it past main streets in the neighborhoods. In Baltimore, hundreds of workers kept sidewalks and roads clear, but at least 2 cars weren't spared the wrath of the storm. A tree crushed this sedan in Fed Hill and another near East Cross Street. In Howard County, a day off work had an unexpected surprise for some.
I think we got off easy. It doesn't seem like it's the 8 to 12 that I was hearing about.
Further west, Carroll County saw as much as 8 inches.
I only got 4 hours of sleep, and we've been fighting the snow for a while.
And while some enjoy the deep freeze,
you can let me loose in this weather at any time. I'm perfectly happy right now.
leaders across the region have a warning.
We're prepared for this evening in terms of making sure that our streets are safe, and that's what we want every individual in Baltimore to be concerned about. Their safety, the freezing temperatures.
Back here live with the WJZ Mobile Weather Lab, temperatures are remaining below freezing. That means that whatever ice is on the ground will remain on the ground. So please be careful as you step out this morning. Live in Towson, Amy Yensi, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Amy Yensi with a large, and as you can hear, loud protest underway right now and reaction from Maryland political leaders. Amy.
Marcus, there are no detainees here at BWI, but you would not know that just by looking at the size of this crowd. Let me take you inside. There are thousands and thousands of people here, wall to wall with protesters. They tell me they're showing solidarity with the refugees, anyone who has been barred from re-entering the country, and their fellow protesters that are protesting across the country. They're chanting, let's listen to what they're saying.
Get out the way. Get out.
They're not happy with the president's decision on this travel ban. They say it unfairly discriminates against Muslims. I spoke to one of the organizers. Let's take a listen.
We are obviously experiencing it. It sets something off in our imagination, and we need that right now.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out.
And Congressman Elijah Cummings and several other Maryland leaders were here thanking the crowd, telling them this is what democracy looks like.
Get out the way.
People have to understand.
They don't even know how to do that well.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
And again, Marcus, no one is being detained here at BWI, but the people here tell me they're not waiting for that to happen to make their voices heard. Reporting live at BWI Airport, Amy Yensi, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Is it looking any better, Amy?
Denise, it's looking a little better, but there's still a lot of work to do when it comes to cleanup here in Howard County. We're still seeing debris and downed trees. Here's one example, a large tree on the side of the road. One bright spot we are seeing, neighbors helping neighbors. The Howard County community continues to dig itself out of the wreckage.
A lot of cleaning.
The tornado's 80-mile-per-hour winds easily toppling trees from Poplar Springs to West Friendship as it made landfall Tuesday afternoon.
We got hammered. I live over on Hobbs Road, and I probably have 30 big trees down.
Cleaning a mess of this magnitude takes extra effort. That's why neighbors are teaming up, making several trips to the county's temporary debris sites.
On Tuesday, I couldn't even get down Pfeffercorn. I had to go do a lot of back roads to get there.
One of those trees almost landing on Terrence Wheeler.
And I stuck my foot out, and all of a sudden, like, bam, like the tree just fell, and I started tripping. I was just like, oh my gosh, and I jumped out the car.
Even trees left standing after the tornado may need to be taken down. They were so weakened by the storm, it's only a matter of time before they fall, and that can be a major hazard.
Didn't know at the time that it actually was a tornado. Just thought it was straight line winds or what have you, but clearly it looks like a tornado came through here.
The tornado moved through our region for 20 minutes, but its impact remains. Now, a big problem for residents have been those power outages. Right now, the number of people without electricity has dropped from the tens of thousands to the hundreds. So some improvement, but as you can see, some work still needs to be done here in Howard County. Reporting live from Ellicott City, Amy Yensi, WJZ Eyewitness News.
And complete first morning weather coverage continues now. Amy Yensi is live with a look at the conditions in Baltimore County. Hood is off now, baseball cap on. That means things are improving. Is that true?
Vic and Jess, when you see the hat on, you know the snow is bad. The wind cuts right through you, and it's just so cold. It combines with the snow that's packing onto the sidewalk. As you can see behind me, slushy mess out on the road. It's a dangerous combination for any pedestrians or people driving. And we have some winter storm advice for you from Margaret Byram with Patient First here in Towson. Thank you for talking to us.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
What can you tell people? How can they stay safe?
Well, the biggest thing is just and how wet it is.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So if you look out the window and you think it's not that bad, there are still some things you need to look out for. Thank you for the advice. That's it from here in Towson. Amy Yensi, back to you. Well, Vic, more than 800 customers in Baltimore County are without power right now. BG&E tells WJZ crews are working to try to restore service as soon as possible. But as you can see, the sleet is still coming down. It's not as intense as it was earlier in the morning, but the wind is so cold and it's just whipping everything around. Now, if you take a look here on Fairmount Avenue and York Road, it is a complete slushy mess. Contractors have been going up and down as well as State Highway trying to clear it out, plowing and salting, but it's just not working. As you can see, it's very difficult to walk in this and drive in this. In fact, we had to move away from the road because the cars are just splashing everywhere. So if you don't have to walk in this, do not. Live in Towson, Amy Yensi, back to you.
Thank God for people like you. My husband said you pushed him out of the way so you could go in there.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, can I give you a hug?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you're so brave.
Yes,
words of gratitude from neighbors who say Alan Randolph is the reason they're alive to talk about it. He was burned and injured while saving complete strangers.
That's why I went in and got the children out and the grandmother out. And then when I came down, after putting a blanket on the grandmother, they said there's a lady upstairs.
Putting his life on the line, Randolph went into another burning house, leading a group of bystanders who came to the rescue after an explosion sparked a house fire in the Baltimore Highlands Sunday morning.
Third-story wall came down and smashed right in front of me and her. It didn't hit her head, but it actually went down my leg, trapped my foot on a piece of sheetrock that had a nail sticking up.
The Good Samaritan helped save 7 people trapped in the flames as the walls came crashing down, rescuing 4 children and Michelle Rose's disabled and elderly mother.
God bless you.
My mother had a heart attack last night because
that was your mother? That we pulled out?
3 homes on the 3600 block of Roberts Place have been condemned by the city and reduced to rubble.
Well, it's collapsed. I reported 2 kids inside, so.
The explosion was enough to bring the homes to their knees and buckle the sidewalk, but Randolph says he would do it all again if he had to.
We probably would have died, and thank God for good people that we have in this world.
And Randolph has been a hero before. He tells WJZ he once saved someone after a car crash. That person was also a stranger. Reporting live, Amy Yensi, WJZ Eyewitness News. Back to you.
WJZ is live. Amy Yensi spoke exclusively with specialist Martin's father during this difficult time. Amy.
That's right, Marcus. Daryl Martin is coming to grips with his new reality, a reality without his best friend and only son.
It's the visit no father of a sailor wants to get. Daryl Martin says when he saw the Navy chaplain at his front door, he knew his only son was gone forever.
It's very hard. He's my only child. He's all I have.
The remains of 24-year-old Personnel Specialist First Class Xavier Alec Martin and 6 other U.S. Navy sailors were found among the wreckage on Saturday. Navy officials say the USS Fitzgerald suffered extensive damage during a collision with a container ship near the coast of Japan. But all this grieving dad can think of are Martin's final moments as the ship filled with water.
He was trying to, but all comms were down. He was trying to call me then. I thank God that who wants to hear their child, you know,
A father and son bond, he says, is unbreakable. He raised the late serviceman as a single father for most of his life. Xavier Martin joined the Navy to follow in his father's footsteps. He was quickly rising in the ranks. A bright future filled with promise dimmed in a matter of moments.
So you have matching tattoos?
This is my very first tattoo. And I put it on, and I sent him a picture, and he said, "You actually did it. I know how much you hate needles."
Now, on this Father's Day, a dad awaits for his son's return home for one last goodbye.
And this morning, it just occurred to me to call everybody and say, every dad that I knew, and say, Happy Father's Day.
And Marcus, he went on to offer condolences to the other grieving families. Reporting live tonight, Amy Yensi, WJZ Eyewitness News. Back to you.